Probably should have spent this money on college, but I got new books. But before we can get to these, some channel updates. So my upload schedule for the past couple of months hasn't exactly been what I'd call consistent, but you can blame that on school and also big videos like the Rand video. But now that it is summer, I'm somehow busier, but I'm going to try and upload more on this channel. And also I'm starting a second channel, a fitness channel, where there'll be informative content, entertaining content, pretty much another one of my passions, and we're gonna take it and see where it goes. So that will be linked down in the description. I'm also gonna try to upload on other socials, so Instagram, TikTok. As much as I despise the platform, it's great for growing. So as your birthday present to me, subscribe to this channel, subscribe to that channel, and also check out all of the socials. There's no content on it right now, but that will be coming hopefully next month, along with a lot more content on this channel. I have kept up reading while I've not been uploading, and will have reviews for the series that are coming, along with some other content. I've tried to not make this a booktube channel because I wanted variety. I don't know why not. As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm gonna start doing some of that content because it's stuff to upload. So starting here, let's go with the book haul. Let's kick it off with some quick ones. For Isaac Asimov books, we have The Robots of Dawn, Nemesis, The Caves of Steel, and The Naked Sun. I have no clue what these books are about, but Isaac Asimov is supposed to be like the progenitor of modern sci-fi. So I thought I should read them eventually. Probably not soon, but these are like the smart people books of sci-fi. I'll get around to them eventually and probably go through his catalog of most famous stuff. But for now, I've got some other stuff to read. And that leads me to Red Rising. I actually audiobooked these over the past month. This book, Golden Sun, the sequel, and Morning Star, the end of the trilogy, and very much enjoyed it. Throughout the first two books, I was for sure thinking that this was going to be the best dystopian fiction that I've read. You have like the Divergent, the Maze Runner, and the Hunger Games. But the ending in the last book just weren't exactly what I was looking for. So I'd probably tie it with Hunger Games as the best dystopian young adult, but not really young adult fiction that I've read. And review coming for this because I very much did enjoy these books. By the way, I found most of these books at the thrift store. It's actually a really great place to pick up books that you wouldn't have otherwise. It's pretty hit or miss, but sometimes I'll come away with like 15 books or maybe none at all. But depending on when they restock, you can find some good stuff there. But along with this, I found one of the sequel books, Iron Gold. I'm probably going to just audiobook this after a little break because I did just finish the trilogy, but I thought I'd pick up this nice, pretty much brand new hardcover. And I really don't know where they're going to go. I guess, this isn't spoilers, but there's some conflict left, but they wrapped it up pretty tight in the third book. I guess we'll see. Another pickup from the thrift store was Percy Jackson and the Olympians. My God, this book was my childhood. I actually don't have a copy of the first paperback because I read it so many times, it just fell to pieces. So when I saw this, I just had to grab it. Like, it is just peak fiction. I would rank this over Lord of the Rings, and that would get people angry, just simply because of, nostalgia reasons, but it's also a great book. Argue with me about that on the comics, but this was an immediate pickup just for nostalgia's sake. Speaking of nostalgia, we have the Iliad. I read this and the Odyssey when I was way too young to know what the hell was going on, and kind of liked them because it made me feel smart when I was reading them younger. Don't know when I'll read this, but I feel like it needs a revisit after the years of me not reading it. And also get my intellect up a bit more, be a bit more philosophical. I actually do want to start reading philosophy, but I got enough on my plate right now. Next up, we have the books that I know absolutely nothing about. I guess we kind of did cover that with the Isaac Asimov, but at least I knew the author. So this book, I remember seeing this cover on YouTube reviews, but never got around to watching it. But they looked pretty excited about it in the cover, so I was like, why not? It's 50 cents. So I don't know when I'll try this, but looks good. Let me know if you know The Nevernight by Jay Kristoff in the comments, and tell me if I should immediately read it or not. And then we have two Tad Williams books of a trilogy, and the only reason I picked these up because I recognize Tad Williams' name because of the Dragonbone Chair reviews that I've seen. Also don't know if that's a good book. But name recognition and being popular on YouTube, it's probably a decent bet that the author has wrote something okay. So I'll give these a shot sometime in the future. Also, again, if you have read the Shadow March trilogy, let me know if this is an immediate read or not. And finally, we have the Heritage of Shinara, which is essentially all of the Shinara Chronicles in one. I have heard about these. I watched the first episode of the TV show. Didn't really like it. I know it's kind of an essential for fantasy, and I think I tried them when I was younger, but never really got into them. So I feel like I need to give this a shot with how popular it is and well known. And I'm intrigued. The TV show just seemed like it was a lower budget than it needed to be an adaptation of something that could be good, very much reminiscent of the typical fantasy tropes. I just remember them like racing through a forest. No clue, but I will read this eventually, just like everything else. That's the problem with picking up a bunch of books is you're like, well, shit, there's a bunch I need to read. And that leads me to the series that most of you probably know and have been waiting for me to talk about, and that is Malazan. Malazan is a long-ass series, as you can tell. 10 books, and it's that time of year. Last year I was reading Wheel of Time. This year I was like, I need that deep emotional commitment to a series. So I picked up these books. As you can see, I've started Gardens of the Moon, and as typical of what I've heard, I have no clue what's going on. The first few pages involves just like this old woman and this kid, and then the old woman gets pimp slapped and dies, and the kid suddenly turns evil, and then like a couple hundred people die. I was so confused, and then the time skipping around and the place skipping, you don't really follow a couple main characters for a while. So it definitely just throws you into the world. I would not recommend this as your first fantasy series or your second or your third. Probably wait until you've read one of the super long ones like Wheel of Time or maybe a Stormlight, so you can commit yourself to not knowing what the hell is going on. And as I said, I kind of like that because in my experience, the stories that just throw you in the deep end and allow you to figure it out are so much more rewarding once you get what's going on. When you figure it out and it clicks, you're like, oh shit, hell yeah. And so I'm looking forward to that. Maybe like halfway point, maybe it'll take me all the way to here, or maybe I'll have to reread it to understand what actually is going on. But I am intrigued. The only problem I've really had is the writing style is a little bit rough to read. Not necessarily in like the way the prose sits, but just it's a little janky for me. I'm not sure if that'll improve. I guess it'll improve because I mean, there's 10 books. He's got to get better at writing. But it does feel a little disjointed for me at the beginning. But there will be reviews coming of these as I go along. I am very much excited, and what I expect from the series is something along the lines of the Wheel of Time character commitment with some of that first law depression to spice things up. I am very much looking forward to closing the last book and being like, damn, what the hell do I do with my life? So, as I said, let me know in the comments about the books that I don't really know anything about. God damn it, a book just fell off the counter. And pretty much just tell me, hey, what is worth reading? What is not worth reading? Give me your little opinions down below. Little opinions? I don't know why I said little opinions. But anyways, like and subscribe this channel, that channel, other sites. Bye.